Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. If you're watching this, you'd rather listen to us, go to our website, StephenKnightShow.com. We're on Anchor, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Or if you'd rather watch us, go to our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Subscribe, like, comment. We definitely appreciate you. We're also on social media, Instagram, The Stephen Knight Show, Twitter, Stephen Knight Show, SHO, and tweet with us throughout the show. We have two guest co-hosts tonight. Welcome back, Savage, who's been on here before, done an amazing job. Love her input. And then we have another podcaster and VSU alumni, your boy, Tasha Mack. Welcome to the show, Tasha.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome, Savage.
Hello.
Welcome,
Tasha,
ladies.
Tasha, tell us about your podcast.
My podcast is myself, my big sister, and my little sister. It's called Or Not. And we just talk about all things, everything. We just logged off from our podcast tonight. It was a voting edition. So we just talked about voting and why you need to vote, all that good stuff. It even got a little heated. Yeah, I had to block somebody. I don't like doing that, but I was getting out of character as well. It was just it's a sensitive topic.
It is.
So yep. So that's what we do every Monday at 7:30.
And where do we check it out?
Facebook and YouTube, Or Not Podcasts.
All right. Well, Thank you for joining us, both ladies. Thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
As you mentioned, tomorrow is election day and tensions are high. I saw in New York, they had some Trumpsters try to block a bridge so people couldn't go vote. And Texas, there was a Biden-Harris van that was driving, and these Trump supporters got around it and was on the highway with their flags going. Of course, the president said they were great patriots. And they were just seeing different voter suppression type of things that are happening. This already happened, but are really happening as we lead up to what people think will be the biggest turnout will be tomorrow, election day. So the question of the day is, and over 93 million people have already voted, which is a great sign. They're expecting maybe 170 million people to vote in this election, which will be the largest in a very long time. So the question of the day is, are you nervous about the results of tomorrow's election? I'll let you start, Tasha.
I'm not nervous.
Then you're not, yeah.
No, I'm not. We've done this before, right? And us personally, I think we've all sat through a few presidential elections. Whatever is going to happen will be. It is what it is. And I kind of already feel like it's already written. We just have to do our job. And I believe in positive energy and putting positive things into the universe. I'm also a meditation and a personal trainer. So I'm all about putting nothing but
you're perfect to be on tonight.
I'm all about positive vibes, etc. And honestly, you put that negative stuff in the universe, that's exactly what you're going to get back. So if you want him to win, then that's what's going to happen. And I don't want him to win.
Mm-hmm. Savage, what about you? Are you nervous?
Oh yeah, I live about a couple miles from DC, so they've already started boarding up a lot of the businesses out there. And I think what I'm nervous about is just how the masses will react. Even when 45 was elected into office, I was still taking the metro then, and it was just surreal. Like, I think you could look around and look at everyone's faces, and I kind of flashed back to that. I'm not gonna lie, thinking about that time when he was elected the first time. So yeah, I'm nervous, but as Tasha said, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's nothing I can worry about. Just pray about it. I mean, yeah.
They built the wall around the White House that people are not supposed to be able to scale over, and a lot of businesses nationwide have boarded up because they're concerned that something's going to happen regardless of who wins. Chike, are you nervous about the results of tomorrow's election?
I wouldn't say that I was nervous. It's more so I'm kind of numb. I think I have post-traumatic stress from 2016, getting in that space of thinking that we have it or looking like it's the practical way for us to win, and then the bottom falls out and we don't. And like Savage said, I remember that time, and after the election, it was just like an ugly cloud over everything. And I don't want to go through that again. And I'm also with Miss Mack here and her positive energy. And like we said before we got on air, Jesus has the wheel. Jesus is driving this car.
Yeah.
If you have positive energy
Amen.
and that's what you believe, then that's what it's going to be. So that's the lane I'm in. And also, before we get off of this election thing, I just want to shout out the U.S. Postal Service. You know, you heard all this stuff in the news about what was going on with the post offices and shutting stuff down and shortening shifts. I want you to know, I've seen it with my own eyes. The postal workers are not for it. They're out here driving around at night. Actually, I've seen 2 and 3 trucks in both states, Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So they're actually working to get those ballots in.
Yeah, most definitely. Shout out to all the workers. And, you know, I think that if 2016 didn't teach us anything, it taught us not to be too presumptuous. Because I just knew Hillary won that election. She knew she won. Trump thought he lost. Everyone, and it was how shocking it was. And like you said, that next day, everyone was like a cloud. People, especially that weren't going for Trump. So people, make sure you vote. This go on Instagram. There is a post that shows you there's some states that you can register to vote and vote in the same day if you have not done so. But this is very important. So make sure you vote tomorrow. Don't assume it is what it is until we know what happens at the end of whenever we find out, because it probably won't even be tomorrow, but when we find out who wins the election.
True.
But tweet us at home and let us know, are you nervous about the results of tomorrow's election?
Steven, I'm
sorry.
Quick
coronavirus.
I'm sorry, just add one more thing. Those people that did not vote, who have a mail-in ballot, don't get discouraged. Take your ballot to the polling place and you can turn it in.
Yes.
You either turn it in and they'll accept it there, or you can have it, trashed, and then you can vote. But there's still an option for you. Do not mail anything in. Go.
Right. Very much so. Very much so. All right. Real quick coronavirus update. So we surpassed 9.2 million cases worldwide with over 231,000 deaths. They're saying that they're having 1,000 new cases a day. The numbers are going up in almost all 50 states. And now, Trump, of course, continues to hold his rallies. I believe he was between over the weekend till tomorrow. He wants to hold 14. He held 14 rallies, mostly maskless. And even tomorrow at the White House, he'll be there where he's holding a party of at least 500 people. And because it's on federal property, he can dictate how many people can be there. Now, I haven't personally, I know people who have tested positive. I don't know anyone who's passed, thankfully, but what are your thoughts on coronavirus? Do you still feel comfortable doing small things? Are you staying home? What are you doing, Tasha?
I feel comfortable doing small things, but I have a zillion and one masks in my purse.
Yeah.
And I still do small functions with my friends, but I don't go to the gym any longer.
Don't?
No, my face-to-face, I'm a trainer, so my face-to-face sessions went to virtual. Everything is virtual. I do back-to-back, literally, and everyone's comfortable with it. Unfortunately, I've had 2 family members pass.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so with that's what stopped me. I actually went back to the gym and then I stopped when my cousin passed. Yeah, so when my cousin passed, that was it. I was like, well, because that's one of the number one ways you can, unfortunately, just through droplets going onto different machines, things like that. So you just have to be really careful. We have to live, but we just have to be really careful.
Most definitely. What about you, Savage? I know we socially distanced at your birthday party a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was outdoors mostly. What are your thoughts on where you are?
My birthday thing made me very nervous and anxious.
Yeah.
I only will go, like, my maximum is 2, maybe 3 people at the most. And those are people that I know have been just social distancing and would report if they have symptoms, right? Like they would say, no, I haven't been feeling well, I need to get tested. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people that have symptoms and don't share it with people. They still show up to things. They still go around people without a mask on, just act irresponsibly. So I take that approach of, unfortunately, if I don't know you well enough to trust you, then no, I don't want to be in your space. But for the most part, I work at home. I do exercise. air quotes. I exercise as much as I can outside, but I have like specific paths that I'll take and specific times of the day where I know it's going to be, people at the most. And I wear, I have the Under Armour mask, a couple of those that I'll wear while I'm working out. So I try to take as many precautions as possible, but as you know, my partner he has a funeral home. So I have heard about the stories of how people may have gotten it or how people may have, that was him calling, even though I told him I was going to be on. Anyway, that, the way that you pass away is what sticks in my mind, that you are alone.
Yeah.
Your doctor may come in the room with you, but for the most part, it's going to be you by yourself. So that's something that sticks in my mind that I don't want to experience, and I don't want anybody else to experience it. My being irresponsible. So that was a long answer.
Yeah, most definitely. And Chika, you work in the medical industry, medical field. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing?
I want to
because everyone's concerned about the new wave. Yeah,
this stuff is real, and there's a lot of truth to once you get diagnosed and you actually make it to the hospital, you are alone. No one really wants to be. I don't want to say they don't want to. Due to the care, they can't be in the midst of you. They're taking care of you, but they're doing it very remotely, as remote as possible. There are certain situations where they can even give you your medication from outside the room, and that has been happening. And so I can only imagine being in a place of suffocating to death, and you're by yourself. And like that has to be the most horrible way to go. And this fella is traveling around the country having rallies, no mask required, and now you're putting him on federal property so you can dictate the buffoonery. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then he had a rally.
I'm sorry. And I just want to say that it's been proven that every place that he has gone, there has been
people have tested positive.
Yes.
Yep.
So like people, the crowds, the no mask, like, I follow my same route every day, Stephen, to answer your question. And I don't do anything abnormal outside of work, honestly.
Yeah. Again, I do small things. I don't want to get lax with it because especially the numbers going up with winter, people, we can't go outside and and hang out like we used to or won't be able to. And it's getting colder. I know it's getting colder here already. And so just trying to be careful, still trying to have a life, but being mindful, because I think when you don't, it's a slap in the face of people who have lost family members, as well as the people on the front lines who are taking care of us and keeping us safe. And so, I just try to keep all that in mind, even when I get a little like antsy, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Everyone be safe for sure. So let's switch subjects. So Kim Kardashian, she just turned 40, and she had an extravagant 40th birthday celebration at a remote island, which they said probably cost her about $1 million. She flew out her family and some of her close friends. Well, Kanye West, we know he's over the top and he likes to give nice gifts to her. And while they were on the island, he did a hologram of her father, Robert Kardashian, who all know passed away. And in the hologram, he says, "I'm very proud of the woman that you've become, Kimberly, you and all you've accomplished. But most impressive is your commitment to become a lawyer and carry out my legacy. It's a long and hard road, but it's worth it. And I'm with you every step of the way." He also said, "Keep doing what you're doing, Kim. You are a beautiful soul. Know that I'm very proud of you and I'm always with you. I have built a firewall around our family. I love you. Don't forget to say your prayers." He also said in the video, "And you did one of the best things by marrying," what do you say? What do you say? Do you remember? There's something about Kanye West, how brilliant he is. I'm sure it was a joke, but the question is, would that freak you out? Because apparently, although the hologram looked like him, it didn't sound like him. But Kim loved it. She said they were emotional. The whole family loved it, and they watched it several times. Would that freak you out, or would you like that, Tasha?
I don't like that. I don't need that in my life. I'll stick with my memories. I'm good. And I don't think it was necessary for him to put it out there for everybody to see, everybody that possibly is going to get corona unless they're going to quarantine themselves. So, I mean, I just, just all of it was a no for me. I'm actually a Kanye fan. My dog's name is Jesus. Believe it or not. He's
Oh
like,
Lord.
Kanye's like a cousin. You know how you had like that one cousin, you're like, oh
Yeah,
God, what?
your cousin.
He's like,
Okay.
that's how I feel about him. Like, look at him. What is he doing again? But I still love him in my heart. But yeah, this was a no. All of this was a no. Sorry.
So when he does these, him being your cousin, when he does these things like running for president, all the stuff that we see, what do you think about your cousin? What is it what you want to tell your cousin?
I get like these phone calls from people. Like my dad will call me and be like, did you hear about Kanye? I'm like, bruh, we're not like family, but
Right.
like, I also, I'm big on health and wellness, physically and mentally. I think of him as being ill. That's how I think of it. He has a mental illness. It is not being someone I have a family member that's bipolar. It's not an easy fight.
It's not. That's true.
So it's easy for us to look at it from the outside and say, Kim this, Kim that. She's dealing with something you could never imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
So
People
look
forget
at
that.
it from that standpoint.
I get that. What about you, Savage? Would that freak you out?
Oh, absolutely. I had a debate with someone about that because she said, I don't understand how people can speak on something like that. It's private to them. And, she mentioned that her father passed away when she was young, so she would love that. So I told her, I said, if someone did that for my grandma, which is someone I still miss, she passed away when I was younger, I would be creeped out. And I would say you should have spent your hard-earned money on something else because it's strange. I have my memories of my grandma. I'm sure Kim has her memories of her dad. Like I've noticed that they did a lot of recording. So I'm kind of surprised that his voice wasn't right because they have so many artifacts that they could have pulled his voice from. But I just thought it was strange because Kanye.
Right, yeah.
I think the strange part for me was just that Kanye dropped that line in about him being a genius. I was like, okay, Kanye, you probably could have left that one out.
Right, yeah, genius. That's what it was. Yeah.
Weird, but it again. I think it was meant to be funny.
Right,
but
yeah.
I know that. Am I off topic? But I just felt like Kim is just completely out of touch because she posted her $1 million extravaganza, and I'm just like, girl, it's people that can't even afford to eat right now. So, but on the flip side, this is how she made her money. And it's her money, so you can post whatever you want. But I just think the whole thing is days.
Right. What about you, Chika? Because Chika, you lost your father. What would you do if someone gave you that as a gift?
Listen, I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe that death is a part of life. And once you're gone for a reason. I don't need you to come back. I have dreams. People come to me in my dreams, and we can talk and we can chill in that realm. But I don't need to see you in this realm in front of me. Let me go to the psychologist part of Chike. I think that Kanye is still dealing with issues about his own mother, and he took that energy and put it on Kim. He would like to see his mom again. I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's some things that he probably needs to deal with concerning that. I'm glad the family received it well. I mean, in the big scheme of things with them, I don't care. Like, I don't. But for me personally, I would not want anyone to bring back a loving family member or loved one in a hologram. I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost my mother. I wouldn't, especially if it wasn't her voice. I mean, and I have a lot of footage on my mom. I have pictures and videos, and I'd rather watch those. That'd be, I think it was a nice gesture. He came from a good place, but I think that would have creeped me out, especially it didn't sound like her. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know about that. Well, listen, we'll take a quick break, come back with a couple more hot topics right back after this.